How's it going, everybody? PK Investing here. Our society is driven by consumerism. There are advertisements all over the place, and people are constantly spending money. Consumer spending does stimulate the economy, and it does promote growth, which in turn encourages the overall wealth of society to grow. However, I've come to notice that many consumers are increasingly spending their money in excess. This can be very dangerous. There are countless citizens living paycheck to paycheck. Even the slightest disruption can have bad financial implications, and a prolonged income disruption can prove to be disastrous. This is the beginning of a new series on my channel where we discuss ways to reduce unnecessary spending. In this video, I want to take a look at what I believe is the single greatest thing someone can do to reduce their expenses, thereby keeping more of their hard-earned money. What is this huge money-saving tip? Well, it's cooking and preparing your own food. I know what you're going to say. It's so obvious. Everyone knows that home cooking is more financially viable than eating out. But from what I've seen, so many people ignore this advice in favor of convenience and ease. I recognize that people might want to eat out once in a while, and that's okay. But I also want to show how cooking at home can drastically reduce the amount of money that someone has to spend on food. Alright, let's get into it. Like always, I think imagining scenarios is the best way to illustrate ideas. So I'm going to do a side-by-side comparison of two different scenarios. We'll break everything down monetarily, and hopefully then we'll be able to arrive at a clear conclusion. For simplicity, and to make these scenarios more relatable, I'm going to use very public examples when it comes to food and pricing. I'm also going to ignore the cost of utilities, gas, and other variables since I want this to be as one-to-one as possible. Of course, including all the variables will result in slightly different numbers, but those differences are negligible. Alright, scenario 1, it's evening, it's time for dinner, and you're craving a burger. So you decide to drive down to your local McDonald's. You order a quarter pounder with cheese. The total comes to $3.79. You pay, drive home, and enjoy your meal. So let's do a cost breakdown. Like I mentioned before, I'll be ignoring variables like gas for your car and time, since we can assume that the difference in adjusted results is negligible. For McDonald's pricing, I used a website called Real Menu Prices, and they claim to have updated prices as of May 2021. But keep in mind that prices may vary by location. The total amount spent for this scenario is pretty easy to calculate. We bought a quarter pounder with cheese for $3.79, so the total cost for this scenario is $3.79 and yields 1 quarter pounder with cheese. Moving on to scenario 2, like before, it's evening, it's time for dinner, and you're craving a burger. But this time, you decide to drive down to your local Walmart and get some groceries to make your own quarter pounder with cheese. So you drive to Walmart, buy everything you need, drive home, prepare your meal, and enjoy your dinner. Now let's do a cost breakdown for scenario 2. Looking at the ingredients for a quarter pounder with cheese, we can see that the popular menu item contains 4.25 ounces of ground beef, 2 slices of American cheese, and a serving each of dill pickles, onion, ketchup, and mustard, all nestled together in a sesame seed bun. I got these prices online at walmart.com. For each item, I selected Walmart's Great Value brand whenever I could, and I always opted for the smallest package size available. I've got the prices for each item listed on screen. Since we're doing a 1-to-1 comparison and only making 1/4 pounder with cheese, I've done some calculations behind the scenes, and I'll tell you what the price is for 1 unit of each item. For example, the hamburger buns came in a package of 8 and totaled to 88 cents per package. But we're only using 1 bun per burger, so the cost of 1 unit, which in this case is 1 bun, is 11 cents. So per unit, the buns ended up being 11 cents, the meat was $1.06, the cheese was 16 cents, the pickles were 8 cents, the onion was 5 cents, the ketchup was 4 cents, and the mustard was 5 cents. That ends up totaling to $1.55 and yields 1/4 pounder with cheese. Now let's compare the two scenarios together. The cost for the meal in scenario 1 was $3.79, and the cost for the meal in scenario 2 was $1.55. What does this mean? It means that it would cost you more than twice as much money to buy a 1/4 pounder with cheese from McDonald's than it would if you had just made the meal yourself at home. And one thing to mention is that the price of ingredients decreases when you buy in bulk, so you could end up saving even more money. And you're also going to have enough ingredients to make more than one meal, so the savings really add up. Alright, I sincerely hope this video was of some value to you. Leave me a comment telling me what you think. I'd love to hear what folks have to say. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing and hitting that bell notification. Take care, and I'll speak with you again real soon. I am not a financial advisor. Investing always involves risk. This video was created for entertainment purposes only.